Oh, you. Alright, I understand.
I have done just as I have been instructed, Professor.
Or maybe not. Well, that guy looked
With
nice.
the mine closed down, there'll be no one around to observe your excavations. Ah, I have visitors.
Just remember what I told you, General. There's really no need to make a martyr out of that man.
The musician guy.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting, Senor. Welcome to Quarmonte.
Thanks. My name's
What a
George
smile.
Stobart from California.
But what is this? An angel come down to earth.
Nicole Collard. Enchanté, mon général.
Pardon me, Senorita, but I couldn't help myself.
Lovely, Murray.
Look, we'd like to ask you a few questions.
You've come to the right place, Senor. Tourist information. General Graciento, at your service.
Damn, that's a lot of things to talk about. Let's start with the underwear.
What do you think of these panties, General?
Oh boy, fabuloso!
Of course.
They're yours if you'll tell me all you know about Karzak.
Karzak? I never heard of him. Do I get the
Oh.
panties now? I told you all I know.
You told me nothing.
But that was
This
all he
is
knew.
the tourist office? It says police on the sign outside.
It is both, Senor. I am a man of many parts.
I can see that, General.
I hear there was an accident at the mine a few months ago.
That's correct.
A lot of men killed, weren't there?
A few.
30?
Barely 1% of the working pop.
Yeah, because that's...
Is it true there's a restriction on music in Claramonte?
Yes, there is. An emergency measure introduced by Nuestra Senora.
Folk music is a link with the past for some of these people. Take away their musical roots and what do they got left?
Easy listening.
You think easy listening could replace a musical heritage hundreds of years old?
Why not? It happened in your country.
Are there any ruins around the city?
Of course, Senor. Quarmonte has everything.
I have a friend who wants to visit an historical site.
Ronaldo
Best friend
will
is
only
me.
be too pleased to conduct a guided tour.
Ooh.
When he's dealt with today's paperwork, of course.
The paperwork.
Who was the guy you were talking to when we arrived?
Professor OUBIER, a visitor, Senor, like yourselves.
Did you say OUBIER?
Si, Senor. Professor OUBIER,
We just
a
missed
French archaeologist.
Damn.
What's OUBIER doing in Claramonte?
Researching our rich and glorious past, Senor.
Hi,
The
Paytex.
professor is planning an expedition to some Mayan ruins. He came to see me to get an excavation permit.
We've had enough of Claramonte and we want out.
Am I stopping you?
The guy at the docks tells me I need an exit visa.
Ask
classic.
Ronaldo. He'll make the arrangements. That's what he's here for.
I think that when I talk to Ronaldo, he would be like, I don't have time to make your exit visa, or go to window 2 where you will get the papers and then come back to me, and then you have to go to window 5 and yada yada yada.
Would you like a biscuit?
Are you trying to bribe me?
Well, every man has his price.
Mine is more than a dog cookie, Senor Stobart.
When will people ever eat the dog cookie?
Have you ever seen anything like this before?
That's a native carving, isn't it? Where did you get it?
We picked it up in the market as a souvenir.
A paper.
Take a look at this label.
Si, Senor. Condor Transglobal.
Can you tell me where to find their offices?
No, Senor. I never heard of them, and neither did Ronaldo.
Are you sure you never heard of Condor?
Oh, yes.
The company is registered here in Quarmonte City.
You are mistaken, Senorita.
The musicians out in the square say that a ship flying the Condor flag was birthed here.
They are simple peasants. They will go along with anything you say in the hopes of parting you from your money.
That was kind of rude. By George to actually say it was those people who told me this.
Condor is run by Karzak, isn't it?
Wrong again, Senor. Karzak has nothing to do with anything called Condor. Whoever he is,
Do you keep a record of companies registered in Quaramonte?
Of course, senorita. Unfortunately, all the records were destroyed by a flash flood.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the forthcoming eclipse, General?
Such things do not interest me, senor.
I'll be back.
They're unnervingly white and his mouth is... I mean, even when we're not talking to him, we're gonna turn around and he's still smiling like that. That's just his normal day look. It's the plastic surgery thing when you do this and it's like, I can't stop. Lovely. What do we wanna... Can we steal stuff? That's leaving. Filing cabinet. Oh, monitor. Hoo-hoo. Papers.
I had no need for junk mail, especially someone else's.
Well, that's the only guy I've ever seen printing his junk mail.
I decided to leave the television switched on.
Oh, okay. Because you would clearly go back there and turn it off otherwise.
It was a computer monitor with some kind of outdated game displayed on it. I didn't
it's
have
Space
time to get
Invaders.
sidetracked by playing computer games.
Outdated. Space Invaders.
Hi,
Not sure what
I'm
that
George
means.
Stobart.
Right.
Hello, senor. How can I help you?
I need this.
I'm trying to get out of Quaramonte.
If I had $1 for every time I heard that, I'd be able to buy back half my family.
Never mind them. What about my visa?
We don't take visa.
I didn't ask if you take a visa. I want you to give me a visa.
I can't help you, senor. I don't understand these things.
That's... well...
Would you like a gourmet dog snack biscuit?
I would love one, senor. But I would have a problem with my teeth.
Toothache?
No, senor. If the general catches me eating on duty, he'll knock them out.
Oh my.
I'd like to visit your prisoner.
Condemned prisoners aren't allowed visitors.
Condemned?
To death. He is to be executed.
Wow.
Knowing my luck, I will probably have to shoot him myself.
Amnesty International is going to hear about this. I thought Miguel was arrested for playing the wrong kind of
Calling
music.
amnesty.
Si, senor, he was.
And that carries the death penalty?
The test
no,
is
no,
fancy.
You think we're crazy?
Holy
While
moly.
being questioned, he confessed to being an anti-government agent.
Are there any ancient pyramids near Quaramonte?
Si, senor. But it's not very impressive. It's in ruins.
That's perfect. Would you be willing
Perfect.
to give a guided tour of the ruins?
I can't. The general would have a fit if I left all this paperwork.
What if I help you with the paperwork?
Do you
It's not like
recognize
you-
this statue?
Tezcatlipoca. The night wind. Take it away, senor. That stone is cursed.
Of course.
You know anything about this eclipse?
No, senor. El General keeps me in the dark about most things.
El
So long.
General. So that didn't do much.
A
Let's,
filing cabinet stood in the corner. The filing cabinet was probably locked.
It is probably
I
locked.
wasn't going to try investigating the passage while the general was sat there.
Can't do anything with the window. Ooh, here's something. I guess he will be like, don't look at that.
Senor,
Hey, Mensch.
leave that child alone.
Leave the shot alone. Alright, so... ooh, there's a safe.
The safe was undoubtedly locked.
You sure?
A safe
checked.
was tucked under the desk.
Okay. So, can we talk to... No, we can't in here. Let's go out. Man, there's so many people that we can talk to.
Why did
So
you
we-
show him the stone?
I thought maybe he might know something about it.
Well, he does now, for sure. He knows we have it.
God, don't be so mad.
Did you notice that chart on the police station wall?
Yes, it looked like a map to me, but I couldn't make out the details.
Whatever it was, the general didn't want us to see it.
Them details.
You came on a little strong with the general.
I was merely flattering his ego, Georges. Every man has his Achilles heel.
Maybe. But that guy's weakness isn't in his foot.
Good penis joke. Have you seen this worm?
Take a look at this, Nico.
That's disgusting, Georges. Why are you carrying it around with you?
I don't know. I just can't seem to part with it.
Yeah, 'cause we don't have a use for it.
Labano tells me he's been seeing a lot of you.
We meet sometimes for lunch, a drink. After you'd gone back to the States, I was pretty lonely, you know.
Lonely? You must have been desperate. Couldn't you just visit the zoo or something?
Yeah, that's the same.
That man we saw talking to the general was OUBIER. Didn't you recognize
Once again,
him?
welcome
I
back
never met him, remember?
to the stream.
The guy
It's
I
been
called in
quite a while.
Paris claimed to be OUBIER, but he sounded nothing like the man in the police station. Maybe the professor really is innocent.
Nah. It's too much of a coincidence
Nah.
that he's here in Quaramonte.
Nah.
Would you like a biscuit?
Gourmet dog? Have you been eating those things, Georges?
Every day.
Sure, they're great.
Are we serious now? He looks
Do
very
you have
happy.
any theories about this stone?
I think that design represents a dog, a Mexican dog.
So, this is the sacred Chihuahua stone? Sheesh.
Wow, is it really?
Take a look at this.
Mon Dieu! Where did you get that kind of money?
It's not mine. I found that statement at OUBIER's house.
Yeah, man.
Guess what this is? Go on, guess.
It's wrought iron, probably from a chimney stack on an old stove.
Well, I suppose it could be. How did she know that?
My grandfather used to work in a foundry.
Ha!
Take a look at this.
George. She got you
An
good.
eclipse of the sun. Why the sudden interest in astronomy?
I found the cutting in OUBIER's house.
Apparently, it's only visible from Central America.
It's gonna be very important. Okay, so we're done with this. I guess we don't have to talk to Nico now because we just talked to her. I kinda want to talk to this guy in here. Oh, hello.
There was a forlorn-looking guy asleep on the floor of the jail. It was Miguel, the pipe player.
Yeah, we want to talk to him now. Is there anything we can use to actually wake him up? Knock it? No. This, we couldn't use that. Coal time. He wants snacks? Nope. I mean, if we had a mug or something, that would make sense. I guess not. So we're gonna talk to this guy.
Professor OUBIER?
Yes? Who are you?
My name is Stobart. George Stobart.
And I need to talk about loads of stuff. Like dog biscuits.
Would you like a biscuit?
No, thank you.
You should, they're good.
I can't get enough of these things.
So he's actually eating them. Good to know.
Take a look at this,
Very
Professor.
important.
What have you got to say about that?
Where did you get this?
Never mind that. How do you explain these withdrawals,
I left my financial affairs in the hands of my secretary.
including the withdrawal of funds in cash from your personal account?
I
Yes.
trust Gwyneth implicitly.
And why Marseille? Why the very place my girlfriend was taken?
That's obvious, Stobart. We are both the victims of the same devious plot.
What plot?
I have no idea.
Do you know
Okay.
anything about this eclipse, Professor?
Of course. It's not the reason I'm here in Quaramonte, but I'm looking forward to seeing it all the same.
Do you see this label?
Yes. It refers to a company named Condor. What of it?
I traced that company here to Quaramonte. Do you know where I can find the offices of Condor Transglobal?
Did you
The
know that
company no
Condor
longer
backwards
exists.
is Rodnock?
They went bankrupt recently.
What do you know about my girlfriend's abduction?
I don't
Yeah.
know what you're talking about.
She was invited to your mansion
I
in
misclicked.
Paris.
Not by me, she wasn't. I haven't been home for nearly 7 months.
Are you
I have
sure?
proof. that you are directly involved with Condor.
I used them as shippers to transport artifacts to a gallery in Paris. Beyond that, I have no connection with the company, which, as I said, no longer exists.
Can you identify this statue, Professor?
Oh yes. Tezcatlipoca, the Lord of Darkness.
A Central
Wow, so
American
many
god,
names.
right?
A supreme deity. Tezcatlipoca means, literally, smoking mirror. There. You see the mirror shield in his left hand? The Mayans believed he could look into the mirror and see into the hearts of men.
Oh
He
my.
was the wind which came howling in the night in search of victims. And victims they gave him by the thousand.
Human
Mouse.
sacrifices?
Men, women, children, animals, anything that bled. The steps of
I
his
would
temple
give
ran
ants.
red with the blood of sacrifices. The Mayans have a legend that says he'll return one day. I hope I'm not around to see it.
If he requires one life, then I would give him an ant. Because there's or a mosquito. I don't like mosquitoes.
Can you tell me anything about this stone?
Where did you get that?
That's my business.
How much do you want for it?
It's not for sale.
Or is it? George, if you can get 1 million right now, sell it and run.
Have you ever employed a Central American butler or servant?
I've never employed any kind of servant, monsieur.
What are you doing in Caramonte, Professor?
Yeah, man.
Seeking Mayan artifacts. Central American history has been my life's work.
Tell me about your wife, Professor.
Please, I don't want to talk about her.
Because you killed her. Oh, oh, oh.
You shot her, didn't you?
No! I loved Carol. She meant the world to me.
So I had to kill her.
Does the name Karzak mean anything to you?
Yes, I know him. In fact, if it wasn't for Kazakh, I wouldn't be here.
What?
He's financing my expedition.
Yeah, that's...
What's your interest in the eclipse, Professor?
Oh, it's purely a layman's curiosity. History's my subject, not astronomy. But I've been fascinated by the movements of the heavenly bodies since I was a child. I wouldn't miss a total eclipse for the world.
Does the eclipse have some special significance for you?
From me? No. For the ancient Mayans, it marked the end of the Fifth Age.
Ooh, the
Perhaps
fifth
we
age.
should be celebrating.
Ah, no. The end of each age heralds destruction on a global scale. The fifth is the final age, ending in the total destruction of the Earth.
Nice. Positive people. So we're done with that. That discussion just ended.
Do you think the
abruptly.
general was involved with Condor?
Hell no. And if he's a general, I'm a Buddhist. No, that fella's just a mouthpiece for the real power in Guaramonte.
So you are a Buddhist?
So the
Buddhist?
general is
Blah,
nothing
blah.
but a puppet?
He's like Pinocchio before he met the Blue Rinse Fairy. Strictly strings and wood.
Who's pulling the strings?
His mother. Better known as La Presidenta, the dictator.
I had nothing else to ask him.
I had nothing else to ask him. Let's talk to this guy since we're here. Can we go? I wonder...
Why don't you want the general at your party?
Because if he comes, he'll bring those damned music albums from the 70s.
Oh, everyone hates that guy at the party. Is there more over here? I think I just get back to the market from the other side. Yeah, it's like a fast travel button. Alrighty doos. Can we go in here? No. Let's talk to these people again. Is there something else that I've missed?
Tell me about the general. You know, the guy in charge around here.
We don't want to talk about him, senor.
How come? No one can hear you. Well, only that old goat.
In
Oh my
Guaramonte,
God,
we
the
have a
goat.
saying. Don't tell your old goat what you don't want your wife to know.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
No, that's good. Oh my god, that guy's touching himself through the pocket. Not at the moment. I have it installed, but I haven't played it in forever. I'll probably play it somewhat, or a few times again. Can we feed him? I still want to feed him biscuits, but no. Guessing I can't do anything. We can't go into the mine company. Let's see if we can talk with the guard now. Yeah, I read somewhere that you were diamond now. Congratulations.
Nuestra Senora is la Presidenta, right?
Si, senor. The First Lady of Caramonte.
I guess that's her picture I've seen on the posters, huh?
That's her. Quite a looker, no?
If you like big, middle-aged military women.
Si, senor. I do.
Of course you do.
So, what has La Presidenta done for this country? Apart from emasculating its music.
Take a look around you, senor. The splendid docks, the walk-in shopping mall, but most of all, she has brought prosperity.
And an exit
Where?
visa.
For the first time in the history of Caramonte, we have an export trade.
What? Like artifacts? I wonder if we can see something new in here.
Inside the hut was a chair and a small table.
I'm gonna read the hint soon just to move on from this part.
The stairs led up to the balcony.
Oh. Well, let's go up there then. I'm guessing there's not much more to... I don't know why these would be important. Maybe the cabbage guy would be important to talk to. Because I mean,
Hey,
cabbage
Nico!
is good for everyone. Oh, you have to yell everything? Can't you just like wave her over?